Okay, welcome back. We're back with Curt Lavarello, the Democratic candidate for sheriff. And we're still trying to find out a little bit more about Curt the guy, so we're going to go into our next question. Curt, is there somebody local in the community, like a mentor or somebody that you look up to, that you rely on for advice or you seek advice from?
You know, there are so many in this community. We have a great community filled with mentors that I look up to, and certainly one of them would have to be Tom Randall. Tom serves as the CEO of the Sarasota Coastal Credit Unions, and Tom was actually on the initial board that hired me for it. But Tom is so full of passion when he talks about his desire to change the community norms as they relate to substance abuse and really do something about it. And he's a giving man, he's a giving individual, and he knows the personal effects of substance abuse what they can have on a family. And I have to say, Tom has just been a great inspiration in the last 3 years that I've served as a CEO. And I'd be remiss not to say Sherry Reynolds from the school board, too. She's the head of the Safe and Drug-Free Schools, and Sherry is just a great inspiration as well, too. Knowing what she puts in and day out for the kids of this county is tremendous.
Okay, quick question now. What's your favorite band? I'm a big rock music fan, as people can tell from the music during the breaks, which I pick out.
Yeah.
What's your favorite band?
Well, I guess, you know, your viewers might be surprised. I'm a Parrot head. I like Jimmy Buffett.
Okay.
You know?
Did you hear what Tom Knight said?
No, I didn't.
REO Speedwagon.
Okay, you know, I'm not sure. There's a difference. No, I'm a Parrot head.
You're a Jimmy Buffett guy.
Yeah.
All right. How about your favorite restaurant in Sarasota?
Gosh, I like Briandi's down in Nokomis.
Do you know that's what he said?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't
you don't
know
run
that.
into each other down there, do you?
No, but I know we're both Nokomis residents, so we can be safe to say the next sheriff will come from Nokomis.
Wow.
So,
that might be a first.
Yeah.
So you both hang out at Briandi's.
Yeah, I've never seen him there, though.
Okay. What's your all-time favorite movie?
Oh, Wizard of Oz. You know, growing up as a kid, I still tune into it now, you know. Great movie.
Okay. This is a question that I got asked by a newspaper interviewer one time that I thought was one of the hardest questions I had to answer. They asked, you know, what is a shortcoming or a weakness of yours that you have to work on, that you've had to work on over the years, or something you think you could do better?
Workaholic. You know, I give 110% to whatever I do, and you know, sometimes I have to be pulled back, and I look to surround myself with good people. Every time I've been a CEO for a great many years, and I have to have my command staff around me, pull me back sometimes, and make sure that I realize the things that are truly important in life. I have a son. My son Daniel is 10 years old. He plays baseball. He's a baseball enthusiast. He's out here at Twin Lakes. He's down at Laurel Nokomis.
Okay.
He's a fifth grader down there, and I just enjoy spending time with him. And my daughter, who goes to Riverview, she's a senior this year, but she'll be off to college next year. But I have to remain focused on what's truly important, and those are my children, and spending time with them and making sure that I keep in focus with what's really important.
Okay, that's a lot of people involved in politics have the same problem.
Wow, you're not kidding. This is my first crack at it. So.
Okay, what about your contact info? If voters want to get in touch with you, how can they?
Well, the easiest way is through the website, www.safersarasota.com, or they can call me directly onto my cell phone, which is 941-232-4633, and I actually answer the phone, so I have no problem in talking to voters or anyone else that has a question.
If you're sheriff, you're going to still give out your cell phone so we can call you?
Well, I've been getting a lot more people who call and wanting me to take care of tickets or something, so I'm not sure I have my number out then. But, you know, I'm going to be very in touch with the community out there. I'm going to make sure I'm at a lot of events, and there's going to be a lot of town hall meetings. I want to stay. I think that's one thing that the Sheriff's Department's lacking right now, is a sheriff who's really out there and in touch with the community and has the ability to get out there and remain for the entire 4 years in touch with the community.
Okay, let's tackle some of the issues.
Sure.
Okay, one of the criticisms that we heard during the Republican primary about the sheriff's office was the growth of the command staff under Sheriff Balkwell, and how it was very small under Monge, but it grew, I think, from something like 5 or 6 officers to 22 or 23. What's your position on the current command staff of the sheriff's office?
Yeah, you know, I've never been from the school that it's this bloated bureaucracy of command staff. I was here when Sheriff Monge ran the Sheriff's Department, and I have to say, you know, I've always had the greatest respect for Sheriff Monge, but I think he did run a very lean command staff over the years. And you look at the ratios. I'm a member of the International Association of Chiefs of Police. I've been on a number of committees with IACP, And you start looking at the formulas that are used around the country, and the Sarasota County Sheriff's Department is not way out of line in terms of command staff ratio. Now, that's not to say I wouldn't do some things different. I think there are some command staff positions that we can utilize better, maybe even civilianize, make civilian directors, and that's a savings to the tax dollar because we're not paying that high premium on retirement. It's a significant increase in retirement if we go with sworn personnel as opposed to civilian personnel.
Along those lines, the PSAs, the public service aides, their budget was cut in half during this past year, and their staff was cut in half. And these are the people who do a lot of the work that you just said. It's kind of law enforcement related stuff, but they're not sworn. They don't have the same benefits.
Right.
How do you feel about that particular budget cut, cutting the PSAs?
You know, I don't think that was a wise budget cut because there's not a big chunk of salary in those PSAs, yet they do a lot of work. The same with the victim advocate positions that were cut, and here the school resource officer positions that were cut. I mean, that defied logic, considering that half of the salary of the SROs that were cut was already being paid for by the school district. So those were not cuts that I thought were wise cuts or in good best interest of the citizens out here. It's certainly not what, since I've been on the campaign trail, what the people wanted to hear cut. There are ways we can cut the budget, but those weren't good ways to do it.
One of the things that you hear, well, actually, we'll get to this question because it does require somewhat of an in-depth answer probably. We'll get to that after our next break, so we'll take a break now.
All right, sounds good.